Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon is an American rock band that formed in Nashville, Tennessee, in 1999. The band is composed of brothers Anthony Caleb Followill, Ivan Nathan Followill and Michael Jard Followill, with their cousin Cameron Matthew Followill. The band's early music was an upbeat blend of southern rock and blues influences, but it has gradually expanded throughout the years to include a variety of genres and a more alternative, arena rock sound. Kings of Leon achieved initial success in the United Kingdom with 9 top 40 singles, 2 Brit Awards in 2008, and all 3 of the band's albums at the time peaking in the top 5 of the UK albums chart. Their third album, Because of the Times, also reached a #1 spot. After the release of Only by the Night in September 2008, the band achieved chart success in the United States. The singles Sex on Fire, You Somebody, and Notion all peaked at #1 on the Hot Modern Rock Tracks chart. The album was their first platinum-selling album in the United States, and was also the best-selling album of 2008 in Australia, being certified platinum 9 times. The band's 5th album, Come Around Sundown, was released on October 18, 2010. Their 6th album, Mechanical Bull, was released on September 24, 2013.
History. Early years, 1999 to 2002.
The 3 Followill brothers, Matthew is their cousin, grew up in Oklahoma and Tennessee with their father, Ivan Leon Followill, a United Pentecostal Church preacher, and their mother, Betty Ann. Caleb, Jard, and Nathan were born in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and attended Mount Juliet High School, while Matthew was born and reared in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. According to Rolling Stone magazine, while Ivan preached at churches and tent revivals throughout Oklahoma and the Deep South, the boys attended services and were occasionally enlisted to bang on some drums. They were either homeschooled by their mother, or enrolled in small parochial schools at this time. Except for a 5-year period when they settled in Jackson, Tennessee, the Followills' childhoods were spent driving through the southern United States in a purple 1988 Oldsmobile, camping for a week or 2 wherever Ivan was scheduled to preach. When the boys' father resigned from preaching and their parents divorced in 1997, Nathan and Caleb relocated to Nashville and embraced rock music and the lifestyle they had previously been denied, attempting to break into the music industry in the process. While there, they met songwriter Angelo Petraglia, who helped the siblings hone their songwriting skills and introduced them to the musical influences of Thin Lizzy, the Rolling Stones and The Clash in particular. Their youngest brother, Jard, who had briefly attended public school, was more influenced by the music of the Pixies and the Velvet Underground. When he and their cousin Matthew also moved to Nashville in 1999, Kings of Leon was formed.
Signing in and first EP, 2002 to 2003.
By 2002, Nathan and Caleb had received interest from a number of music labels and eventually signed with RCA Records, which initially insisted on putting a band together for the 2 of them. In an interview with Billboard, however, Nathan outlined how they told RCA, "We don't want to be Evan and Jaron. We're going to buy our little brother a bass, he's a freshman in high school. Caleb will teach himself the guitar, Matthew played guitar when he was 10 and I'll play the drums." They said, "All right, we'll come down in 1 month and see you guys." Later in the interview, Caleb admitted to the brothers kidnapping their cousin Matthew from his hometown in Mississippi for him to join the band. They told his mother that he was only going to be staying for a week but never allowed him to return home. "We locked ourselves in the basement with an ounce of marijuana and literally spent a month down there. My mum would bring us food down," added Nathan. "And at the end of that month the label people came and we had Molly's Chambers, California Waiting, Wicker Chair, and Holy Roller Novocaine." The band's first record, titled the Holy Roller Novocaine EP, was released on February 18, 2003. The release of Holy Roller Novocaine gave the Kings of Leon a significant amount of exposure, receiving a 4/5-star rating from Rolling Stone magazine. All of the songs released on the EP were co-written by Angelo Petraglia, who also produced the record, and 4 of the 5 songs would later be released on Youth and Young Manhood. The versions of Wasted Time and California Waiting on the EP differ from their album versions, however, with the first having a more tense riff and different vocal style than the same track off Youth and Young Manhood, the second being recorded in a rush to finish the EP. The EP also contains the song Wicker Chair, while a track called Andrea was discarded before its release.
First albums and critical recognition, 2003 to 2006.
The Followills' debut album, Youth and Young Manhood, was released in the UK in July 2003 and in the United States later that August. The album was recorded between Sound City Studios in Los Angeles and Shangri-La Studios in Malibu, California. It was produced by Angelo Petraglia and Ethan Johns. According to Rolling Stone magazine, the band's retro-chic look and blend of southern boogie and gritty garage rock inspired comparisons to both Lynyrd Skynyrd and The Strokes. The album became a sensation in the UK and Ireland, where NME declared it one of the best debut albums of the last 10 years, and The Guardian described the band as the kind of authentic, hairy rebels the Rolling Stones longed to be. The album still failed to make any significant impact in the US, where reviews were generally lukewarm and the modern rock audience was generally uninterested. In the United States, Youth and Young Manhood sold only 100,000 copies, compared with the 750,000 copies it moved abroad. The band's second album, A Heartshake Heartbreak, was released in the UK in October 2004 and in the United States in February 2005. Building on the southern-infused garage rock of their first album, the album broadened the band's domestic and international audience. The album was again produced by Angelo Petraglia and Ethan Johns. The Bucket, 4 Kicks, and King of the Rodeo were all released as singles, with The Bucket rising into the top 20 in Britain. Taper Jean Girl was also used in the 2007 movie Disturbia and the movie Cloverfield in 2008. The band garnered accolades from several of their rock peers, including Elvis Costello, and also toured with Bob Dylan and Pearl Jam during 2005 and 2006.
Major commercial success, 2006 to 2009.
The band's third album was titled Because of the Times and was released on April 2, 2007 in the UK, and a day later in the United States, preceded by the single On Call, which became a hit in the UK and Ireland. It debuted at number 1 in the UK and Ireland and entered the European charts at number 25, selling approximately 70,000 copies in its first week of release. Although it was lauded by some critics, others found the album inferior to their previous efforts. In 2008, Kings of Leon released its fourth studio album, Only by the Night, on September 19, which subsequently entered the UK albums chart at number 1 and remained there for one more week. Only by the Night also had 2 single-week stints as the UK number 1 album in 2009, one directly after the Brit Awards. In the United States, the album reached number 4 on the Billboard charts. Reception to the album was the most polarized yet, with the British press granting the album glowing reviews, while in the United States, reactions to the album were more mixed. The album was officially named as the UK's third biggest selling album of 2008 and the biggest selling album of 2008 in Australia. Sex on Fire was the first single released for download in the UK on September 8. The song became the band's most successful as it peaked at number 1 in the UK and in Ireland. They won Best International Band and Best International Album at the Brit Awards in 2009, where they also performed Use Somebody Live. Kings of Leon also performed on March 14, 2009, at Sound Relief, a benefit concert, for the Victorian bushfire crisis. The song Crawl from this album was released as a free download on the band's website on July 28. The third and fourth singles were Revelry, which peaked at number 19 in New Zealand, and Ocean, which peaked at number 24 in Belgian charts. Only by the Night was certified platinum in the United States by the RIAA for selling 1 million copies in less than a year after its release. In 2008, Kings of Leon headlined the Glastonbury Music Festival, and in 2009, the band headlined a number of music festivals, including Reading and Leeds, Rock Werchter, Oxygen, Tea in the Park, Girton Festival and Open Air Festival in Poland, Europe, along with Sasquatch, Lollapalooza, and Austin City Limits in the United States. The band released its first DVD, Live at the O2 London, England, on November 10, 2009. It was later released on Blu-ray disc on November 24, 2009. The footage was filmed in London's O2 Arena on June 30, 2009, when the band performed a 22-song set in front of a sold-out crowd of more than 18,000 fans. In an interview with Billboard.com, drummer Nathan stated, "England is really the first place we broke. We figured what better place to make a live DVD than where the fans have been the craziest for the longest." The show featured songs from all four of the band's albums, and Nathan continued by saying, "We just put the cameras in the back of our minds and acted like they weren't even there." In 2009 Kings of Leon founded Serpents and Snakes Records, a record label including such bands as The Features, Snowden, Turbo Fruits, and The Weeks. On January 31, 2010, Kings of Leon took home the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal and Best Rock Song for You Somebody at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards.
Come Around Sundown, 2010 to 2011.
The band's fifth album, called Come Around Sundown, was released on October 18, 2010 in the UK, and October 19, 2010 in the US. It was recorded in Nashville and New York between February and June 2010 with Jacquia King and Angelo Petraglia once more at the helm. Following the release of Come Around Sundown in Australia, the band released all the tracks from the new album on their website. In June 2010, the band embarked on a tour visiting more than 50 cities in North America and Europe. The tour dates ran from June 5 to September 23. On July 27, 2011, during a concert in Dallas, Texas, singer Caleb Followill appeared to be heavily intoxicated and slurred incomprehensibly between songs, often rambling about nothing. He left the stage, claiming he was going to vomit, drink a beer and return to play 3 more songs. He never returned, causing the rest of the band to apologize to the crowd and end the concert abruptly. On August 1, 2011, the band announced through their website that the remainder of their US tour would be cancelled with no reschedules due to dates they already have scheduled. On October 31, 2011, the band announced that after the conclusion of their Australian tour in November that they would be going on hiatus. Nathan stated that the band's hiatus should not take any longer than 6 months.
Mechanical Bull, 2012-present.
On August 22, 2012, Jard and Nick Brown from Mona revealed their song No Tell under the name Smoke and Jackal. On August 23, 2012, when asked if it was the end of Kings of Leon with Smoke and Jackal announced, Jard said not even close. Working on album 6 very soon. Kings of Leon bassist Jard Followill confirmed that the band had finished recording their 6th LP, which should see release September 2013, NME reports. The album title Mechanical Bull was revealed on June 7, and the album released on September 24. The album's first single, entitled Superzoica, was released on July 17, 2013. The second single Wait For Me was released in the United Kingdom in August 2013 and debuted at number 31 in the UK singles chart.
Band members:
Caleb Followill, lead vocals, rhythm guitar; Matthew Followill, lead guitar, keyboards, piano, backing vocals; Jard Followill, bass guitar, keyboards, synthesizer, backing vocals; Nathan Followill, drums, percussion, backing vocals.
Discography:
Youth and Young Manhood, 2003, A Heartshake Heartbreak, 2004, Because of the Times, 2007, Only by the Night, 2008, Come Around Sundown, 2010, Mechanical Bull, 2013.
In other media:
In early April 2011, an 87-minute film directed by Stephen C. Mitchell documenting the band members' lives was shown at the 2011 Tribeca Film Festival in New York, called To Lie in a Sky, the name of an early Kings of Leon track. The Tribeca premiere was followed by scheduling a hometown premiere at the Dead Center Film Festival in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, on June 8, 2011. The European premiere was hosted at the Edinburgh International Film Festival on June 25 and was followed by an interview session with the band. UK distributor Revolver Entertainment streamed the movie and interview session to 150 UK cinemas for a one-night-only live screening event. RCA Records later announced that the film would be released on Blu-ray disc and DVD on November 1, 2011.